There are moments in history where multiple rare events stack on top of each other at the exact same time, and they create an opening, sort of a gap. And that gap, by its very nature, can never repeat. The early internet was one of those moments. The smartphone boom was another. And right now, if you are a software engineer watching this video, you are sitting in the middle of one that most people have not even noticed yet. I've spent the last 4 years building a 7-figure AI consultancy here in Los Angeles. And I've spoken to well over 1,000 developers one-on-one for my startup accelerator, Code to CEO. And the pattern that I keep seeing is the exact same. Talented developers, very smart people, simply sitting on the sidelines, waiting for the right time, not realizing that the right time actually has an expiration date. So in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly what's happening right now and how you can take advantage of it. Because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. There are 3 events that are happening simultaneously in 2026. And each one on its own is already significant, but together they create what I genuinely believe is a once-in-a-generation opening for people with your exact skill set. And I'm not being dramatic here. This isn't a hyperbole. The numbers actually support it. So first, I call it the great handoff. Over 10,000 boomers retire every single day in the United States alone. And keep in mind, these aren't just employees clocking out of their 9-to-5s. These are business owners. The generation that built America's small and medium-sized business infrastructure on pretty much paper, phone calls, and handshake deals is now stepping out of the ring. Their businesses are still running on systems from 2004, maybe 2010 if they got really adventurous. But here's what nobody actually talks about. This is not going to be a recurring cycle. This is a one-time generational transfer. Over 33 million businesses in the United States are going to have to be modernized to adapt to AI and the recent technology change. And they're not gonna need it twice. They're only gonna need it once. Whoever captures that relationship first is going to lock in the trust and the revenue of these businesses for potentially decades to come. And the kids that are going to be inheriting these businesses from the boomers, well, most of them don't even want to figure out the tech side of things. They simply want somebody they trust to be able to handle it for them. And that's where you come in. Now, in order to actually understand how you play a role into this, we have to talk about the translation gap. And this is the second point I want to make. Right now, AI is more powerful than has ever been before, but it's still confusing to the average person. 86% of the world hasn't even used AI, and less than 5% of businesses have actually done anything meaningful with it. This massive canyon between what technology can do and what businesses actually understand about it is your opportunity. You live on the other side of that canyon. You understand what the technology can do. You can even build with it. You can explain it to somebody without making them feel stupid. And right now, you are one of the very few people on planet Earth who can translate between the technical world and the non-technical world. But understand that this canyon is getting narrower every single month because more and more AI tools are coming out. AI tools are getting more and more intuitive. The barrier to understanding it is dropping fast. So give it maybe 2 or 3 years and a lot of what feels complex today is going to feel like setting up essentially a Google account. And with cloud ambassador programs, cursor ambassador programs, these AI companies pushing ambassador programs to spread the AI awareness into your cities, it's only gonna get even worse. And when that happens, the premium that you're gonna command as a translator is gonna be gone. Because understand that the money lives inside this gap right now. And this gap has a literal countdown on it. Now, the third point, trust deficit. 73% of small businesses said that they need tech help, but cannot find anybody that they trust. So I want you to sit with that number for a second. 73%. That's more than half of businesses that you see. So demand is literally through the roof. But the supply of trustworthy providers is pretty much non-existent. Why? Because every guru on their internet told every single non-technical person to go and start an AI agency. So now you've got a flood of people who can barely explain what an API does, trying to sell a complex AI solution to an actual business. And these businesses get burned. They become skeptical and they don't trust the market anymore. But you, it's a different story for you because you're a software engineer. You actually understand the technology on a fundamental level. You can actually deliver what it is that you're gonna say you're gonna deliver. And if you show up locally, face to face, and you demonstrate real competence, well, now you're not even competing with any of these people because you are in a completely different league. Now, real quick, on April 19th, I'm hosting a free live masterclass where I'm going to give you the step-by-step sales system built specifically for software engineers. How to run discovery calls, how to handle objections, how to close high-ticket deals, and how to price properly. And all of this without being a sleazy salesperson or just another sales bro. I can assure you that 99% of software engineers cannot sell properly. So just showing up will already put you ahead of everybody else. And make sure not to miss the Q&A section at the very end. Link is going to be in the description below as well as the pinned comment. So why am I calling this the last window? Because these three events that we just discussed will never stack like this ever again. Boomers are only going to retire once. The handoff is going to be a one-time event, and the AI translation gap is only going to exist while the technology still feels foreign to most people. And the trust deficit is only going to exist while the market is saturated with unqualified providers who keep burning businesses. When the handoff is actually complete, when AI does become more and more intuitive, at least intuitive enough that a non-technical business owner can figure it out themselves, when the market matures and the bad actors get weeded out, well, this specific combination of circumstances is going to be completely gone, permanently. And I want you to understand exactly what gone looks like in this case. Think about what happened with mobile apps back when they first started getting trendy. In 2009, 2010, if you built any basic app on the mobile app market, you could make a fortune. The barrier to entry was pretty much non-existent. The demand was absolutely insane. And if you remember, Instagram launched with 13 people and sold for $1 billion literally 2 years later. Try that again with the app market. It's not gonna work. You're gonna need hundreds of engineers, right, and tens of millions of dollars in funding just to be able to market it and get it out into the open. So the window opened in 2009 and 10, and then the window closed. And the people who moved during that window built wealth that compounded for the next decade. And the ones who waited, well, they pretty much went back to building features for somebody else's product for a salary. That exact same dynamic is going to play out right now with AI adaptation. Except you do not need to build the next Instagram. All you really need to do is solve one real problem for one real business owner in your city, especially if you are from the United States. That is literally it. One problem, one buyer, and one simple conversation. The reason this matters specifically for you as a software engineer is that you are the only group of people who can do all three things at once. You understand the tech well enough to actually deliver the results. You can learn the sales and communication way faster than a salesperson can learn how to code and properly deliver a technical product, at least while AI is not as intuitive. And your problem-solving brain transfers directly into running a business. It's not a coincidence that the top 5 wealthiest individuals right now in Forbes all have a CS background. But skills without timing are just skills, right? End of the day. The highest leverage move that you can make right now is to actually deploy yours while the conditions are still favorable to you. 2 years from now, sure, you can still start a business as a software engineer. But the ease, the margins, the near zero competition that exists right now, that is not going to be there. Every single month you sit on this opportunity, the gap is only going to get smaller and smaller. And it's not because you got worse or your skills got worse. It's simply because the environment around you got harder. So the question isn't whether you can do this or not. I already know that most of you can. Like I said, I've spoken to well over 1,000 of you at this point. And I've worked personally one-on-one with dozens of you. The question is whether you move while the window is open or look back in, let's say, 2030, wondering why you didn't take it. Now, if you want to accelerate this transition with weekly one-on-one calls directly with me, a private community of software engineers turned founders who are actively building businesses, quarterly in-person masterminds with founders doing 6, 7, and 8 figures, apply to Code to CEO. It's an application-only startup accelerator built for software engineers who are serious about making the shift from a 9-to-5 to becoming an entrepreneur. Click the link down below and book a free call with me directly to see if you are a good fit. And if you want to see exactly how I would start a software business from complete scratch in 2026 as a developer, click this video right here. I'll see you there shortly. As always, thank you so much for watching.